Okay, let's talk about these doses. The original the original dose I was given, the first dose of DMT I was given was a very very tiny dose that they gave us to check to see if we were allergic to the substance. And I received it, closed my eyes, and said, "Ooh, this is good. This is really, really good stuff." Because I was able to easily perform a simple spiritual function that I usually had to prepare very deeply to do. I took and transported myself from the hospital to a favorite power place that I have up in the mountains, and then came right back, and it was like a magic carpet. It was just so easy. I remember commenting, saying, "Oh yes, that was very off the cuff. That was a very very wonderful little experience." I told Rick I took a little flight off to one of my favorite spaces and came back, and obviously this is really really good stuff, and I guess I don't have a negative reaction to this experience. So um, that was that was very positive. So the next dosage, oh, there was some concern about my, even though I personally had a good experience with it, there was some concern by Dr. Strassman and the nurse that was present at the time about my reaction to the substance. And apparently they were concerned because my body started shaking and vibrating during the experiment, and they said, "Oh, maybe this is not going to work out too good." So they broke protocol in my case, and even though there was no protocol, they gave me a intermediate dosage, something that was not quite the low dose, but was not quite the the reaction dose, just to see what another higher dosage would do, and they gave that to me. And after that experience, I said, "Oh my God, this stuff is weird. It's like I couldn't do anything with it. It scrambled my thoughts. It jangled my nerves. It was very very upsetting." And at that time, I said, "You know what? I don't know if I should continue with this stuff." I almost dropped out of the study because I could not, like most substances that I had taken, I was able to work with them. And see, that was a key in my modus operandi. I like working with substances, and the operative word here is working with. In other words, I am in control. You are my vehicle. I tell you where to go. I drive. I have the steering wheel. I drive. When I want to go left, you go left. And that was the case. This thing kind of just was very unmanageable. It was unwieldy. It was like it wanted to go places, and I'm like, no, 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 no. I'm trying to keep it on track, and it didn't allow me to do that very well. So I had to come back later after a much thought about it, and said, "Well, you know what? You're not going to learn anything if you don't pursue. You said you were going to do this. You're probably going to survive it. Yeah, it looks like this is not going to work out for you the way you wanted it to work out for you, but let's do it anyway." So the next doses were I think it was the first was the low, the official low dose. So I came back for the official low dose, but at this point, my guard is really, really up. So I take the medicine and I do a ceremony on the medicine. I'm, asking spirits from the four directions to bless the medicine, bless the atmosphere. I do a complete ceremony on the space. Again, set and setting. I'm, now, set and setting is going to be, it's got to be right on the money, because this thing is a very unwieldy vehicle, and I sure don't want any accidents. So I do all the preparations, and I take the medicine, and off I go into just this horrific kaleidoscopic world that was just unfathomable, just unfathomable. It was just unbelievable to me. And so after the experiment, after the substance has worked through the system, I come back and I say to Rick, "Rick, you know what? I know you have a great belief in this stuff, but honestly, Rick, I believe this medicine has no redeeming spiritual value. None. It is just absolutely the most horrid substance I have ever ingested, and I have ingested stuff that is known poison. And this stuff is worse than that. So, uh, I was very, very disillusioned. Very, very disillusioned because the low dosage is completely disruptive of the nervous system. It shatters your thoughts. Your whole body starts to vibrate like you were on a shaker table. Your entire nervous system is just fired. So you're getting data from all over the nervous system. Every part of you is reporting back. Things aren't, danger, danger, warning. Things aren't right. Everything is kerflooey, and there's nothing you can do about it. There is nothing you can really do about it, and so you just have to go with it. However, if for those, I guess, the psychedelic aficionados that might actually think this experience might have some value, I suppose it was a wonderful experience because you get a kaleidoscope of colors, the likes of which you've never seen. You get just rainbows and I mean waterfalls of kaleidoscopic images and patterns and all of these things that people actually think are very amusing and entertaining. And they are. I mean, actually, it's better than any fun house you'll ever go into. This show is second to none. It is a laser light show with a music festival and everything thrown into one, all at high volume and high brightness and high intensity all at once. Just the ultimate light show or party, whatever you want, rave or whatever you want to call it. It is spectacular. But of course, I wasn't looking for that. I mean, I'd already done all of that stuff. And I said, this has no redeeming value. I didn't learn anything other than the great capacity of the human nervous system to produce some pretty phenomenal experiences.